What if happiness isn't something you earn, but something you become?
We often move through life assuming a balance sheet exists for our behavior. If we act correctly and fulfill our obligations, we expect the universe to eventually settle the debt with success, stability, or a favorable afterlife. This transactional mindset creates a specific kind of psychological exhaustion. When the expected payoff for being a good person fails to materialize, the result is a deep sense of frustration and burnout. Baruch Spinoza and the mystic Rumi both challenged this internal economy. Despite their different eras and cultures, they shared a specific radical thesis. Virtue and happiness occupy the same space at the same time. For these thinkers, the act of living virtuously acts as the destination itself. They view the internal state of the person, the way they process the world and treat others, as the entirety of the experience. This raises a difficult question. Can we find a sense of peace that doesn't depend on a future cosmic payoff? While Spinoza and Rumi agree that peace must be non-transactional, their execution frameworks are complete opposites. They provide two distinct operating systems for how a human should actually function. This map illustrates the diverging paths once hope for external reward is removed. Spinoza's method uses pure logic to master the mind and understand existence. Rumi's method treats the intellect as an obstacle. One must intentionally surrender the mind and move beyond logic entirely. This leaves us with a choice. If the value of life is found in living itself, do we refine our existence through perfecting our rationality or by transcending it? Spinoza's path starts with the aggressive application of reason. It requires stripping away volatile emotional reactions, like hope and fear, because these passions represent a loss of internal control. He treats logic as a shield against the chaos of the world. By pursuing absolute rational knowledge, you eventually begin to see the mechanical necessity of the universe. You realize that everything that happens is the only thing that could have happened. Understanding this inescapable chain of cause and effect creates a profound sense of tranquility. You stop fighting the flow of reality because you finally see exactly why it must be so. The trade-off is significant. Spinoza defines God as nature, Deus sive natura. To follow him, you have to accept the universe as a beautiful but entirely impersonal system, abandoning the idea of a deity that cares about your individual life. This path offers a way to achieve cognitive mastery and mental stability, but it requires sacrificing the comfort of cosmic personal significance. Rumi offers a direct critique of this logic. He said that reason has wooden legs. It is a clumsy tool that can carry a person to the doorstep of truth, but it cannot enter the room. He advocates for a state of intellectual silence. Instead of logic, Rumi uses spiritual love as the active mechanism. It's an emotional gravity that pulls the seeker towards something larger than themselves. The ultimate goal is fanā, or annihilation. It is the process of allowing the ego to dissolve entirely so that the individual self no longer exists as a separate, isolated entity. The individual is subsumed into a larger collective rhythm. This requires surrendering the need for intellectual control. To follow Rumi, you must accept extreme emotional vulnerability and the loss of your unique identity. This approach provides a map for spiritual resonance and emotional connection, but it demands the total abandonment of your logical safety nets. While their methods are opposites, both philosophers demand the exact same internal payment. Neither path allows you to remain the person you currently are. Spinoza wants you to conquer your lower passions until your biases disappear. Rumi tells you to die before you die. Both are describing the shedding of the constructed ego. This process is painful and offers no external validation. You won't receive more money or higher status for dismantling your pride. In fact, society may not notice the change at all. True internal freedom begins only when you accept that the resulting internal state is the only compensation you will ever receive. Knowing the costs, how should you distribute your mental and emotional energy? This comparison highlights the choices based on your psychological leanings. If you find peace in the logic of systems and the interconnected necessity of the physical world, Spinoza's path of cognitive mastery aligns with that perspective. If you find logic insufficient and are driven by deep interpersonal resonance and spiritual intuition, Rumi's path of surrender offers a different route. Spinoza's system promises happiness through the depth of your understanding, while Rumi promises it through the depth of your absence. Regardless of the operating system you choose, the baseline requirement is the same. The way you live serves as its own compensation.